Hello, good evening, all. Welcome to the stream. Well, I was going to fly the Q400 tonight, but I thought it might be quite good fun because this literally just came out moments ago, and it's the Pmdg 747-400. This is the native V5 installer. So here she is. Dug out the Martin Air Cargo 747-400 BCF. Now, if I remember correctly, because we talked about this in our Amsterdam Airport to Sim program, this is a Boeing converted freighter. So it used to be, I think it was with Singapore Airlines, and that's why you can still see the windows. It was converted from a passenger aircraft to a freighter, so it has the side door. And I could be wrong. I usually am wrong. I don't think this one has the nose loader. I think we might see. Yeah, so look, it doesn't have the opening up nose. It just has a normal little nose random with the weather radar behind there. So yeah, so Boeing converted freighter is not a pure freighter. It's a conversion by Boeing. That's why it's called Boeing converted freighter. Let me know. By the way, guys, I can see the stream, but I can't hear it. So just let me know if the sound's okay, if the sim's too loud, if I'm too loud, if it's all crap. Let me know, and I'll fix it. I'm just using a USB mic. I don't have my big radio presenter microphone. I do have it, but it doesn't really like this PC very much. So I'll try and get that working. But it looks nice in V5, huh? Just let me tell you about the PC. It's a new one. I just got it. It's a 9900KF, and it's overclocked to 5. The boost kind of out the bag is 5. The graphic card is a 280 Ti. We're here on the ground, MK Dublin, and all the settings are pretty high. I'll dig out the menu in a second and I'll show you the settings. We're kind of helped by the fact that there's no cloud. This is real weather. I'm using active sky. As you can see, this is the weather for Dublin. So it's a nice day today with no clouds. But active sky is still a bit screwy in V5. Even though there's no clouds, they just suddenly appear. One of the weird thing I've noticed about V5 is that it randomly resets itself. The atmospheric beta unticks itself sometimes, which is weird. But here you go. You see everything is set to max. These are set back a little bit. I don't have the auto gen up super high. I've disabled dynamic vegetation because it's like wavy trees. Does anyone care? But shadow quality is on ultra, and that's about it. Right, okay. Just wondering where we could fly to. What have I got installed here? I've got Exeter. It's a bit small for a 747. We could go across to Edinburgh, I suppose. We could down to Gatwick. I've got Cardiff. We could go down to Cardiff, I suppose, couldn't we? Or we could go to Liverpool. Heathrow. Am I brave enough to try Heathrow? And we've also got Southampton. Definitely won't get a 747 in there. So anyway, so we've got a few options if we want to fly. Hello again, Danny. How are you, man? This is the official Pmdg version. So they've just released the V5 installer for the 747. So yeah, this is the official V5 one. Just let me know if the sound's alright on the stream, guys, because again, I just fired this up. I didn't really spend a lot of time fixing things, so just let me know if everything's okay. Right, now, GSX doesn't seem to want to play. No surprise there. Pressing the button to get it, but it seems that GSX does not want to play ball today. So I was hoping to get some stairs, but maybe that's not going to happen. Let's try the Pmdg ground stuff. So what have we got? We've got wheel chocks set, ground power request. Let's do that. Let's get the service vehicles. What should we have? Tail stand. Don't think we need that. Alright, let's have some stairs. Engine inhibit. Oh, the engines are running. Oh, that'll be why. Alright. That'll be why GSX didn't want to come. Alright, I've literally just loaded this up, so bear with me, guys. Pmdg setup. Panel state loads. Let's go to the short one. Now, I imagine it'll put loads of fuel on. And do other weird things. Change it back to inches and other things. So I'll have a little look around the flight deck and fix all that in a minute. Right. Okay. Now. There we are, GSX. Dear GSX. So, let's do that. FedEx, that'll do. Operate stairs. Cannot operate stair. Okay. Is that it? Alright. Okay. Alright, cool. Let me open some doors. And, alright, FS actions, doors. Open. Okay, upper deck, right cargo. Oh, side cargo. I guess that's what we need. And I think there's cargo coming on the other side. Oh, don't we need to connect the hydraulics to open this or something crazy? God. Pmdg. Too accurate sometimes. Side cargo open. Yeah, I think we need hydraulics to do that. Alright. I'm not sure which one of these. I'm just going to turn them all on. Bum bum bum. Is it open? Okay. This is where I'm showing off my lack of 747 knowledge here. Right. There we go. Okay, no cargo doors. Anyway, okay. Forget about that. I need to go off and swat up on how to open the cargo doors in the 747. But that's not what this is about. This is just to see how it looks and how it performs in V5. And it looks nice. Frame rates are 30. I have the frame rate counter in the bottom corner, bottom left. I don't know whether you can see it on the stream. I'm using the 30 Hertz refresh. So that means my screen is running at 30 Hertz. That forces the sim with the frame rate set to unlimited to 30. And so far, it has not moved from 30. If there was a bit more weather, it might be a bit of a test. But, I mean, so far, so good, huh? If there's anything you want to see, anything you want to have a look at, then just holler and we can take a look. Alright. Beautiful. White official, how is Beirut? I don't know, I'm not in Beirut right now. I'm in sunny Cheshire in England. At my parents' house. So, if I was in Beirut, I wouldn't be streaming this now because the internet's so bad. This would be impossible. Oh, there's the, who's this guy? Is he the captain? Okay. All you have to do is walk around this guy. I think he's the first officer, judging from his 2 stripes. Okay. Hey, how you doing? Alright. Who are you looking at? Yeah, no, I did move. I did move permanently, but I left Beirut to go to Saudi Arabia. That's going to be my next. That's going to be my next stop in terms of job. My real job, when I'm not playing with aeroplanes for Airline to Sim, is I'm a radio presenter, and I work for a radio station in Beirut. Still working for the radio station in Beirut, but I'm now also working for a radio station in Saudi Arabia, so that's going to be my next full-time job. Right, let's have a look at where we're going. I haven't flown a 747 for the longest time, so once again, apologies for if I get things wrong, but I haven't done this for quite a while. Thankfully, before I left to go and live abroad, I did have lunch with a guy who was Cathay Pacific 747 captain. We talked about Kai Tak, and the plan was a long time ago was to do an airport to sim program on Kai Tak, because it's a very hard airport to fly in and out of, and I thought it might be quite good fun. Sadly, never happened for various boring reasons, but he did give me a Cathay Pacific FCOM for the 747, so I have that with me, which is cool. So let's do that. Where should we fly? I just want to fly somewhere nearby. Should we go to Birmingham? Yeah, let's go to Birmingham. I need. Is this a port? No, it's not a port. It's the Pmdg version 5 installer, which just came out. I didn't, in typical style, I didn't read anything. I don't know whether it's still a bit bugged or there's things that don't work. I'm not sure if the weather radar works yet, but it just installed it. It recognized V5 and ran the Pmdg service center, and it all worked great. So I've no idea. Right, let me just do a quick flight plan. So just amuse yourselves for a moment, chaps. I'm going to give you a nice outside view while I just very quickly do a Simbury flight plan from here to Birmingham. So Dublin. It'd be more fun if we had all this on the stream, but I'm not a professional streamer. I'm not really a professional anything. Right, I'll have Manchester as the alternate, and then it's a Boeing 747F. Alright, and DH1PS. Right, okay. Analyze routes. That looks good. Okay, cool. Here we. Oh! Look, P3D's broken. Uh-oh. Okay, so there you go. You hear about all these problems with the driver with P3D V5, and there you go. My 280 Ti has been broken by P3D. Right, P3D is going to crash anyway, so I might as well just dump that. Crash. Alright, let's try that again. Yeah, it's so broken. It's so massively broken, it's not even funny. These are the airports I've got, by the way. I just have installed stuff for the UK because I got True Earth UK. So I don't think I've got everything actually installed in the sim. So Bristol's a bit too small for 747. I've got Cardiff. I've got East Midlands. I've got Edinburgh. But I thought Birmingham might be alright. It's pretty quick. It's broken. It's broken. It's a broken sim. And it's a shame it's a broken sim because it's so good. Like when it works, it's brilliant. But I'm not sure how you would get on if you had a... I mean, like, this is a 280 Ti. It doesn't get much better than this. If it's broken... If a 280 Ti gets broken by it, then everything else will. Right. What were we? We're in the Martin Air 747. There we go. RIP, as they say. Right, I'll change the time. Otherwise, it'll be night time. I'll change it back to today. Rip, rip, rip. Yeah, I get amazing performance. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I have this, as I said, forced to 30 FPS because of the 30 hertz screen refresh. I'm pretty sure if I turn that back to 60 hertz, so kind of unlimited frames, if you like, I'm pretty sure we'd be getting like 40, 50. I don't know, maybe a bit more. But the problem's not really the FPS. The problem is the memory. And if a 280 Ti is running out of memory, then that's a bit of a problem. What I might need to do is I might need to dial back some of the settings with the 747. That might be it. Because I flew around in the Q400 with everything on maximum, which is probably fine. But perhaps the 747 needs everything scaled back a bit. I don't know. We will see. What have we got? Has to be Neil. Good evening, peeps. How are we? We're good. We're good. Even people with good VRAM are having issues. Yeah, this is the problem. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you kind of, when you buy a 280 Ti, you're like, ha, VRAM, I'll eat it for Christmas. And then look what happens. So yeah, it's not the same. All right. So we're back in the 747. Just give me a second while it comes back into life, and then I will reload the GPU scenario. Give me a sec. There we are. All right. Okay. Pmdg setup. Panel state load. Let's go for the short turnaround state. Okay. Cool. And what I'll do is I'm not going to bother with GSX and all the memes. I'm just going to open the front door. So we've got something open for the doors page, and we'll leave it at that for now. Parking brake I don't need because I'm presuming the truck's it in. Ground connections, yeah, wheel chuck set. Guess the APU is running. Where's the APU in this thing again? APU on. APU Gen 1 and 2. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Right, okay, so let's go back to the FMC. And let me just have a quick look around. Again, I'm no expert in the 747. I've flown this a bit since it came out. And it's a bit like a 737, which again, I'm not an expert in. What happened to Active Sky? What happened to Active Sky? Okay. Active Sky is also a bit buggy in V5. Let's try that again. Come on. It's broken. Everything is broken. Did it load? It's all broken. Everything is broken. It's too broken to fly. Come on. Yes. Yes. Great. Good. There we go. Now, you always know Active Sky's working if you change the pressure and the... because I know it's 1016. So, if it's working... There you go. Yeah, cool, it's working. And closest station weather. Cool. Right. Who have we got on the chat? In a nutshell, laying cards on the table, would you recommend the jump to V5 from V4? Well, other people in the chat would have their own opinion on that. Personally, I think it's really good. I mean, like, frame rate wise, I mean, we're in Dublin. Now, anyone who remembers the old version of Aerosoft Dublin, and with FTX Island running, which is exactly what I've got here. So I have True Earth for England and Scotland and Ireland. Northern Ireland, sorry. No, hang on. True Earth for mainland Britain. Okay, so that's Wales, Scotland, and England. That's it. For Ireland, there is no True Earth yet, so I'm running FTX Ireland and Northern Ireland. So I can fly around the whole of the British Isles and the island of Ireland, if you like. With really good scenery. So this is FTX Island, and it's on full settings. And if you remember flying here in the old Aerosoft Dublin, it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. The frame rates are horrible. The memory usage was horrible. It was just awful to fly in here. Now it's perfect. It's so good in V5. It's just great. So yeah, it's a little bit buggy, but you know, I'm sure they'll fix it, and all would be well. It's nice scenery, this of Dublin as well. It's so nice to have Dublin back in the sim. I really missed it when Aerosoft were like, yeah, we're not going to update it. You can get lost. No way. It's like, why? Everyone was like, please update it. And Aerosoft are like, no. And then MK came out with their version. They announced it. And then the next day, Aerosoft. Ah, yes. Aerosoft Dublin, version 2, on the way. It's like, Anyway. What have we got? Musical Aviator, hey. Would you recommend it? It's all broken. Everything's broken. No, it's okay. It was just having a moment. It all seems to be working now. Did you enjoy the shawarma in Beirut? Yeah, I did. So I lived in Beirut for 2 years, and I had a lot of fun. Beirut is a crazy place. Lebanon is just a crazy place, but it's a lot of fun, and I had a great time there. Right, now let me get on with this. Otherwise, it's just going to be me yabbering crap for the whole stream. And I'm sure you want to see this airplane flown somewhere. I'm just going to type the route in rather than use the SimBrief importer because it's a really short flight anyway. So I can do it old style, EGVB. That's right, isn't it? We're going to go off runway. Oh, hang on. I've still got my SimBrief from my last flight, which was a -8 flight, so that's not going to work. If I put the numbers in for a -8, it'll all go horribly wrong. Okay, so we're going off runway 10. Okay, cool. And let me put the rest of the route in. So we're doing the Kisha 2 Foxtrot. Kisha 2, runway 10. Kisha 2 Foxtrot. Alright. And that takes us to Liffey, and then it's Lima 975. Oh, sorry. What am I doing? Via the Lima 975, there we go. To Malud. Alright, and then Lima 15 to Ampit. And then the Chase 2 Delta into Birmingham. Alright, so Chase 2 Delta into runway 33 via Chase. That's what we want. And activate, that's it. Right, okay, so Perth init. Let me just type all this in on the other side. So the zero fuel weight. It's a bit weird having flown the Dash a little bit earlier on today, and then I'm flying this. And it's like 10 times the weight. So the Dasher, I think, was 28 tons. Yes, 28,000 kilos at takeoff, and this is 287,000, which is kind of like, wow. Okay, so zero fuel weight is 275.6. 275.6. That goes there. And what else do we need? Fuel, obviously, would be a good idea. And block fuel is 21,600, so I'm going to just round that up to 22,000. Always good to take more fuel than you need, right? We're not paying for it, it's free in the sim. So now that can go, I'll just leave that on the legs page for now. And the zero fuel weight goes in there. The reserves, final reserve is 5.1. Cost index is 263. Wow. Martin Air like to fly fast. And we're going to go up to 230 on this one. And I've no idea. Do I have Top Cat? Does the Top Cat? I do have Top Cat, but I don't know whether it has a 747. We will soon find out. Boom, boom, boom. How do I add an aircraft? Right, there we go. Boeing 74. Oh, we do have a freighter. That's wonderful. Right, 74F. Air save. Okay, and then we want to do takeoff. And I'm going to update the weather, because this is from this afternoon, but it hasn't changed. It's more or less what it is now. So we'll run with that. And we're taking off at, what did we say? Takeoff weight is 296.2. So let's say 297, just to round it up. And did we say runway 10? Yes, we did. Okay, cool. Wow, flaps 20. Takeoff 2. Oh my God. Okay. So 49 degrees. Takeoff 2. Did that go in? Right. That did go in, did it? Oh, it's because I needed. You've got to do the reduction and then the assumed temperature. Right, I got it the wrong way around. Okay. And then flaps 20. What have we got? Thrust reduction at 1500. That's fine. And then what speeds does it give? So it's giving us 39, 48, and 57. That's, well, apart from that, I'll just change the first one. 139, wasn't it? 39. Oh, I'll change them all. Whatever. What was it? 148 and 157 was correct. So let's harden that up. And then the next page. That's fine. That's everything, right? Receive G. And put that in 23. And I think that's it. Right. Where's the rejected takeoff button on this thing? Down there. Right. Okay. No smoking on. Seatbelt signs can come on. Not that we have many people. I'll make up a squawk. That'll do. Right. Well, what haven't we done? V2's got to go in here. 157. These little bouncy dials are funny. Flight director's on. I'll leave the auto thrust for now, or the auto throttle. Runway heading is 099. It's close enough for me. Close enough for government work. And let me look at the SID real quick. Again, I'm not really that bothered about flying it particularly accurately. Let's say I think it's 5,000. Without me wandering off to go look at the charts for hours. That's enough. Is there anything on there? No, there's no stop on there, is there? Right. Okay, that's fine. So, cancel. Little thing I learned in the 777 program is all the little yellow cautions. Just keep them cancelled, because if anything fails, it will pop up as a yellow caution. And obviously, if you have them all there, you might not notice it. So keep the cautions clear if you can. Pretty sure that's what I was taught by one of my guys long ago. Right. I'm not going to bother tuning the VORs and all that. Can't be bothered with all that. Life's too short for that. We can arm LNAV and VNAV. And that's about it. Now, do I have everything assigned to this? Just give me a sec and just make sure everything's working. Okay. I don't have gear assigned for some reason. But that's fine. I can do the gear myself. That all seems to work. Rudders. Okay. Oh, why are we getting the spoiler? Oh, I know why we're getting the spoiler. The rudder makes the spoiler go. Only in Flight Sim does the rudder makes the spoilers go up and down. Profile specific. Yes, 747. There you go. Now, that should work. We still don't have any rudders, but it might be because we've got no electrical. Oh no, the rudders should move. Okay, how do I make the speed brakes go back down? Okay. Right, I'll do a quick control check before we go, because I've only just assigned this, and it will probably try and break itself. You know, like the sim likes to break itself. That's what it does. Right, I think we're pretty much ready to go, don't you? I don't have a checklist on me, so again, we're just going to have to busk it. Using a bit of my rudimentary 747 knowledge. Let's get the fuel pumps on. That one's already on, I guess, because the APU is running. Hydraulics, there's some weird thing where you put that to aux, I think, and then the rest of them, again, I can't quite remember exactly how it all works, but whatever, we'll just turn those on for now. The beacon can come on. did we have some doors open? We did, didn't we? So let me close those. Just the main door is all we want for now. I've pressed D. Let's see if that works. No. Let me just check something. Okay, so one thing I do is I delete all my key assignments. And sometimes when it crashes, it puts them all back in. And I have D to door. But when I press D, nothing happens, so I'm going to have to go back through the menu and do it there. So FS actions, doors, close. Okay, a bit strange. Right, so we're ready to go. Let me go back to the chat real quick because I haven't been talking to you guys. Mic sounds like it's popping on my speakers. Yeah, there's a little weird thing going on with the sound card in my new PC. There's like a little crackle on the sound card and I can't fix it. I think it's a problem with the sound card. So I'm like, okay, I'll have to go back. So you'll have to just bear with me, I'm afraid. I know the mic sounds a bit weird. Hey Liam, how are you, man? Costa, hi, always one step back to X-Plane. Yeah, I know. I've been playing around with X-Plane quite a bit recently, and in fact, the Ini Builds A300, I should hopefully be able to give you a little preview of that soon. So just bear with me. VORs in the modern FMS Boeings only tune what you need, and an RNAV SID doesn't need any. Well, this is an RNAV SID, so I guess we're good. Ring around the field at 5 or 10 if you're planning a visual return. Yeah, okay. So what you're saying is I could go into the fix page and just put, what is it, EIDW? Or do I just select the, oh no, can't select the runway from there because it's not in there, is it? So, what did you say? Let's say 10 miles. We'll draw a little 10-mile ring. Oh, it's /10, isn't it, in a Boeing? /10. Here we are. Cool. Musical Aviator, by the way. What were you flying before you before you were grounded like everybody else? Were you flying the 767 again, Brendan? Brendan in the chat is a real pilot, by the way, but doesn't fly the Jumbo, I don't think. It'd be useful if we did have someone who flew the Jumbo in the chat, actually, but never mind. I'll take a 767. That's close enough. Right, so the beacon's on. I think we've got to turn off at least 2 of the packs for engine start. Where's the APUP? That's on, so that's good. So the engine should start now, he said. Let's see. Let's get GSX to meme us out of here. Oh, let me have a look where we're going first. Can we drive? No, we can't get down there because there's an old Ryanair 737 in the way. So we'll push back to our left and then we'll go around here. Again, I should look at the charts and... Why don't United have a handling operator here? That's really weird. Very strange. Okay, is he there? Oh, there he is. There he is, walking through the scenery as always. If you just joined us, by the way, I'm Ben from LNSim. Hello. We are looking at the 747-400. This is the V5, the native installer. Literally came out a couple of hours ago, and we're just giving it a go. So let me go back in. Why is he waving? It crashed again! Rip. No. No. Okay, it's going to crash anyway. Oh, sorry. I thought, Musical Aviator, I thought you were Brendan, my friend Brendan, who is a pilot for Delta. It broke, guys. It broke. P3D does not want to fly the 747 tonight. Rip. Yeah. Dudes. Okay. Let me. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to restart it. I'm going to dial back some of the setting because this is only happening with the 747. This did not happen with the Q400. Now, I'm not blaming the 747, by the way, and saying it's buggy. But I may be having the settings cranked up to the max, which I've got. Maybe that's just too much. So, here's the plan. We're going to restart back on the stand. I'm going to throw the route in super quick again. And I should have saved it. I should turn on autosave in FSUI PC. Somebody remind me to turn on FSUI PC autosave, and then this will save us from this endless loop of going back to the gate. Right, where were we? 612. Man. Hope someone from Lockheed Martin is watching, going, we need to fix this. Right, let's change the time back to 6. Just to test, definitely need to push the sliders back. David, yeah, I think you're right, man. I think, yeah. The sim has also, you notice, gone into windowed mode as well now. The reason, if you remember back in the old FSX days, when you went to full screen, it was an actual proper full screen. X-Plane is the same. When you open X-Plane, it actually takes control of the whole screen, of the whole window. And it really doesn't like it. If you start X-Plane, and then if you like tab out to do other stuff in Windows, it really doesn't like it at all, and often crashes. That doesn't happen with P3D. You can happily open up your computer and files and do whatever you like, and it's fine, because in P3D it's not a proper full screen. It's like a kind of false windowed screen, if you like. So even P3D in full screen is still technically windowed. It just kind of hides the edges. Anyway, in FSX that wasn't the case. It was a proper full screen, but Lockheed Martin, in their wisdom, they disabled that because it was buggy, and it was buggy. You could often break it if you weren't careful. Although saying that, P3D seems to break itself quite often as well. But anyway, whatever. Right, so give me a sec. What I'm going to do is let the airplane load, which is done. I'm going to go to Pmdg setup, and I'm going to load the short turnaround state and give it a second. Alright, that looks good. Right, that's fine. Now, let's turn down some of the settings, because quite clearly this is not going to work. So I'm going to go to Ben Orridge, which is my original set of settings, and everything is just dialed back a little bit. So that's down a bit, that's all down a bit. The cloud resolution, I had it on ultra. Let's put it down to high, and then the lighting and the shadow quality dial back a bit as well. That should help us out a little bit. Now, the one thing I don't know about, and I haven't been able to find a satisfactory answer, is the dynamic texture streaming. So it says enable to dynamically optimize texture setting sizes to reduce VRAM usage, disable to increase performance at the cost of more. So if I leave that unticked, it will use more VRAM. So if I tick that, then it optimizes it, so that reduces the VRAM. Okay. Now, I'm not having any performance issues, but I am having VRAM issues. So I need to tick that, right? Is that's as I understand it? Am I being stupid or what? Let me know what you think. Right. So let's try this, and let's load it with some lighter settings and see how we get on. I need beer. That's one thing you need when you're flying a virtual aeroplane, is you need beer. So when I lived in Beirut, I used to go to Cyprus a lot because Cyprus is very close to Lebanon. It's only it's like a 15-minute flight. It's like flying from I don't know, like Liverpool to Dublin or less. So I used to go a lot. I used to go every couple of months, and they had this really nice beer in Cyprus called Keo, K-E-O, called Keo or Keo, and I found it here in the UK. I found it in Morrison's. So I've been drinking far too much of that. It's really nice. So I'm going to go and grab a bottle of KO while when we get in the cruise. So that will be my treat to myself. Right. Let's try this again. Third time lucky. And if it crashes another time, I'm going to call it a night, and I'm going to go watch Graham Norton or whatever's on tonight. Right. Pmdg's set up. Panel state load. Sure. Did I just do that? Or am I being stupid? Right. Okay, no, I already did that, didn't I? Yeah. Okay. HPA. HR, they're linked, aren't they? Right, okay. And then let me set the baro. That's fine. Active Sky still working. That's good. Right, now, let me just rattle through the setup here. So the ref airport is Dublin. And the route, GPS is all aligned and all that. That's good. So Dublin to Birmingham. And then I've no idea what Martinez call sign is. Let's just call it MAR 366. We're going off runway 10, and it was the Kisha 2 Foxtrot, which is that one. And then Birmingham is the ILS to 33. Chase 2 Delta via Chase. And activate. Alright, cool. And then the Perfinite FS actions. Fuel, we said, was where's the fuel? 22,000. And the payload is 276. Oh, actually it's 276. There you go. Cool. Right. Cool. Reserves. 5.1. Cost index 263. Cruise out 230. And cruise C of G. That's fine. Do I change that? I don't know whether I changed that. Right, now I can't remember what we had in here. Takeoff weight is still correct, and the weather is still correct. Runway 10 is still correct, so it is takeoff 2, flaps 20 and 49. So takeoff 2, 49 degrees, flaps 20, and the V-speeds were pretty much bang on, so I'm not going to go type them again. And then the trim is 23. Right, that's it. Okay, let's get out of here. Flight directors on 1 and 2, 157. Whoops, 157. That can go on the runway heading. I think it's 99. And let's go to 5,000. That'll do. Alright. Auto brakes RTO. Let's give ourselves a made-up squawk. And let's... I can't quite remember how we do this, but again, let's turn the fuel pumps on. And then packs off the start. No, not the strobe. Beacon on both. Right. I think that's everything, boys. APU's on. Let me just check that we don't have any chocks in or anything stupid like that. FS actions. ground connections, wheel checks, so we need the brake on, so we don't roll away. And get rid of those. That's everything. Right. Cool. Where were we? Perth. Yes, thrust limit. Takeoff. Right. Okay, boys. Took a little bit longer than planned. My apologies. Let me call Roger, the pushback man. And where is he? See him mincing over. Where is he? Is he here? Oh, there he is. All right. I'll try not to change the view over and over again because I don't think that helps in terms of VRAM. Oh yeah, it's LNAV and VNAV armed as well. Facing east. Take that. Why are there no voices for GSX? That's weird. I kind of hear him. Okay, that's weird. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. As long as he pushes the aeroplane back, I don't really care. Let's turn the brakes off and see if we start moving. Yeah, that's good. Okay, cool. And then when we stop, I'll put the brakes on again. GSX memed itself once again. Right, engine page then. And which order do you start the engine in the 747? I have no idea. Start number 4 first. I think you can start them all at the same time. Or like 2 at once. I think so. Sure, you can. I think there's enough APU pressure to do that, so let's try that. Alright, so here we go then. Out of MK Dublin. Nice scenery. Really good. Even the static aircraft look quite nice. You know, they model them really nicely. Don't know why more developers don't do static aircraft, because you know, at airports like, you know, busy airports particularly, it's nice to have stuff on the ground that makes it look busy, especially nicely modelled ones, because obviously AI takes up, you know, a lot. Oh, I need to put the fuel in. Come on, Ben. Concentrate rather than gassing. Yeah, it's nice just to fill up the aprons and make them look busy, rather than just have empty airports. I mean, there's no AI here because I haven't installed ultimate traffic or any of that, but at least there's, you know, it's not completely dead, which is nice. How do you turn off the static aircraft? Yeah, I mean, some of them are not very good. There are developers who will remain nameless who are not very good at developing. Okay, I think that's it. Why can't I hear him? I did change the voice set with GSX earlier on. I changed it for an add-on one, which is better than the default sounds. Okay, he's walking towards the nose gear, so I think that's a good sign. Right, let's do 2 and 1. When does the fuel go in the 747? Is it the same as the 737, around 25%? I don't know. Okay, I'll just throw it in. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think it'll break it. Right, I'll put the VOR on, even though we don't really need them. Traffic. TCAS is off at the moment, which is fine. Although, I believe that we put that to alt and off so they can see us on the ground, I think. Okay. So that's good. He's driving away. So at least we've got a pushback, which is Better than we sometimes get. Right, so let me put that back to auto. That has all configured itself, which is nice. I think I need to turn the APU off. But there's no gens in this. I think it does it itself. Maybe I turn the APU bleed off now and put the packs back to normal. That looks good. Right, okay. I think that's it. So now it's just going to be the turn off and taxi lights and all that stuff when we're ready. So let's do the flaps. So we said flap 20, which is a lot. I can get rid of the engine page now. I think that's about it, isn't it? Apart from a control check and all that. So let's do that. So we've got the ailerons are working. Full back, full forward. The rudder's working. And when I hit the brakes, do they go off? Yes, they do. So the brakes are working. That's good. Right, everything looks good. Flaps take forever in the 747. Oops, that's just very strange of you. Haven't changed the views yet, as you can see. Nope. Got old Easy Dock with this little camera click. Right, I think that's everything. So that's all done, that's all done. We need to set the trim. So the trim is 5.9, which is about there. Right. Okay, let's go. Lights on. Now, I'm doing all this without a checklist, boys, so you know, if I get it all a bit wrong, then don't worry. Maybe you can hear the ground crew. Yeah, I guess so, yeah. I don't know. Not sure, fellas. Well, I don't want to tempt fate, apart from some weird strobing thing going on with the taxi lights over. Oh, there we go. It's stopped now. Performance is good so far. Right, which way are we going? Oh, we're going off runway 10. Okay, why are we not turning? Oh, there we are turning now. There we are. Whoops. Yeah, nobody tell Martinair about their pilot taxiing quite badly here. Slow down a little bit, that might help. Is it just me, or does the nose gear looks quite extended? You know what I mean? Looks a bit weird. Oh, that's strange. Let's see the wing flex. Good old, whoops. Okay. We can look at the wing flex in flight, boys, because quite clearly, I have no idea how to taxi this aeroplane. Okay. 30 knots in a straight line, Benny boy. 30 knots in a straight line, come on. There we are. No wonder I can't steer it. There we are. Apparently in the Q400 they told me that you know, there's a little flight taxi switch and it puts the spoilers up and down on the wings. And apparently what they used to do if they wanted to taxi fast is they used to put those into flight, and then the aeroplane thought it was on the runway, so you could taxi as fast as you liked, and the aeroplane wouldn't tell tales on you. It does look Odd, yeah, it does look odd. But you're on your 4th glass of wine, Danny. I don't blame you, mate. I don't blame you with the month or so you've had, mate. Mets would, yeah, I'll show you the settings in a bit. I just dialed it all down a little bit because we had like 2 crashes in a row, so I decided that it was probably better to dial everything down a bit. The other thing is that I've turned all the EasyDock settings down as well, because there was some really weird bouncing thing. When I activated the, not this one, the 7478, it kind of weirdly like bounced up and down. It was really weird. One odd thing, I actually did a little flight from here earlier on in the Q400. I didn't even notice that little bus over there. And now that I'm sitting like, you know, what is it? I don't know how high a 747 is. Like, why is it not turning? It's a bit weird. What's going on with the tiller? Oh yeah, the tiller is moving. It just moves very slow. It feels to me a bit like they've done something with the tiller. I remember there was a big discussion about the tiller in the NGXU when it came out. Right, I'm going to get us on the runway. Now, there you go. Press them all together. Strobe on. Let me put the TCAS onto TARA. Flaps are set. The trim is done. We can put terrain on. Don't need the weather radar right now because there's no clouds. It's cav okay. Right, let's get on the runway. And yeah, I'll show you my settings in a bit. I don't want to tab out the sim into the menu and make it crash. So just bear with me. It's a bit out. It feels so big, this thing. It's like taxiing a tower block, you know? It feels really weird after like the Q400. It just feels massive. Going to fly one of these after like a Dash 8 or an ATR must be just like mind-blowing. Well, the runway doesn't look very long from here. I always thought Dublin had a relatively long runway, but looking at it here, it doesn't look very long, does it? Right, now, Toga. Is there a hidden click spot on this thing? Is that it? Yeah, there we go. That's it, isn't it? Right, okay. So here goes nothing, boys. Stun them up. Here we go. Alright, so thrust ref. And looking for 1.29 EPR, which we've got. It's nice and smooth so far. Hope the performance is correct, and the ground friction is correct, and everything is correct, because seem to be approaching VR awfully slowly. Alright, so we've got thrust holds. Oh, it's alright, we'll make it. So V1 and rotate. Up we go. Keep pulling through the dead band, about 15 degrees. And then flight directors. Right, I'm going to throw the autopilot in, so we can admire the view. Let me get the gear up. There we go. Up, not off. There's the turn. Keep the heading brake lined up where we're going, in case it craps out. There we are. Nice. So far, so good, fellas. Come on. Alright, so within 10... I'm trying to remember now. Within 20 knots of the flap 10 speed, we can go to flap 10. So we're within that. So we can go to flap 10 now. And then within 20 knots of the flap 5 speed, we can go to flap 5. So that's at, what is it, 195? So that's now. Climbing up so slowly, my god. Alright, now within 20 knots of the flap 1 speed, we can go to flap 1. So that's now. Turn the gear off. And within 20 knots of the flap up speed, we can go to flap up. So flap up is at 230. Is it 235-ish? So call it there, that'll do. Right, keep the heading by coming round. Let's have a look. There we go. Sweet, nice. Okay, so runway turn off lights, taxi light can come off. Outboard and inboard in the 737, they retract the outboards, but I'm not entirely sure how it works on the 747. I don't know. Let's just I'll leave the inboards on. I'm not entirely sure how it works, guys. Right, there's 5,000. I don't want to level out, so let's keep the climb coming. Oh, why is there not after Liffey? Did I not put the rest of the route in? Wouldn't surprise me if I didn't. Wait. Legs. Liffey. Oh, I don't think I put the... Okay. Oh, maybe it's just a discontinuity. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Does that all match up? I can't remember whether we put the airways in. That's fine. Alright. Okay, we're leveling off, so let's keep climbing. There's no altitude intervene in this thing, is there? I think, do you press VNav again? Or flight level change then VNav again? There we are. Cool. Alright, that's fine. So, as you can see, it's a short flight. So there's top of climb, and there's top of descent. So we ain't got long. We're going to 230. Let's just go all the way up. Cool. And let's go to standards. And is that it? Is there anything we've forgotten? I think that'll do for now. John O'Stroud, you have a monster of a machine. It doesn't seem to run too well. Is that the case, or is it smoother for you than for us? It's really smooth for me. I guess it might be the stream. For me, it's like really, really smooth. So I'm running at 30 frames. The sim will not run faster than 30 FPS because I have my screen refreshed at 30 Hz. So the maximum frames I will ever get is 30. The reason I do that is because the frames. So basically, the way that it works is your frame rate matches the refresh rate of the monitor. So for every refresh of the monitor, 1 frame is drawn, and then that's when it's smooth. So you have smooth frames at either 30 FPS with a 30 Hz monitor or 60 FPS with a 60 Hz monitor, because the frames and the refresh of the screen match. When you get stutters is when they don't. So if you get, like, say 38 frames per second on a 60 Hz monitor, or if you get 26 frames per second on a 30 Hz monitor. So as long as you get 30 FPS, you'll have nice smooth gameplay. Yeah, I think it is the stream. I think it is the stream, buddy. Right, auto brakes to turn themselves off. That's nice. We're coming through 10, so I'm going to turn the rest of the lights off. And okay, oh, seatbelts. That's weird. I thought we'd done that. That must have been the first time before the second crash. No smoking can stay. So the seatbelt sign, can't quite remember the SAP. I think it's off on the ground, and then it's on for takeoff, and then whenever you want to turn them off, you put them into auto. And I think if we get, I can't remember the exact criteria, something like engine failure, depressurization, stuff like that, they will automatically go on. That's what auto does, I think. Right, it's looking good. Now, the reason you can't see an awful lot outside is because I have the visibility settings a little bit lower than default in active sky. One thing I always find about the sim is that the visibility at altitude is often a bit too far. So I pulled in the visibility a little bit, and I don't know whether maybe I've overdone it. Although today, actually, this afternoon was quite a clear, hazy day. So it was like this actually. It wasn't cloudy, it was sunny. But I imagine at altitude it would have been quite hazy. So I don't know whether this is actually quite accurate to what the weather was doing earlier on today, to be honest. But we'll see. So while we've got a minute, I'm going to run to the kitchen and go and grab a beer. But this is obviously flight deck in V5, which looks pretty much like it did before. But it's nicely modelled. Pmdg stuff's always done well. I'm a bit reluctant to go to outside view, but I'm going to do it anyway because that's what crashed it before. But we're good. So that's Ireland behind us, and the sea is. I had the settings at ultra before. I've turned them down now. So, back in the flight deck. That's quite close to the red line. It's a little bit close for me, but we've got a really high cost index today, I think, haven't we? Transition out was not 18. It's, I think it was 5,000. And for the descent, can't quite remember. Where's the transition altitude in this thing? In the descent? Is it in cruise, descent, forecast? There you go. Trans out. I think it's 5,000 at Birmingham. That's fine. I'm not going to run off and go look at the charts right now. We also didn't pull down the en route winds as well, but it doesn't matter. On us to flight this short, it makes no difference. Now, here's another slightly weird thing about V5 is, if you remember a minute ago, there was not a cloud in the sky. Now, we're flying through cloud, which were not there a minute ago. So this is something else that's a bit strange. If you're using the new atmospherics, you will just have cloud appear out of nowhere. This is... the X-Plane, actually X-Plane does this all the time. It's the thing that I hate about X-Plane, is huge visibility shifts. It can be really nice weather and blue skies, and then the next minute huge big thick clouds and thunderstorms out of nowhere. It's a bit annoying, but this is kind of back with V5 and active sky. I don't think active sky can change the true sky weather yet, and this is true sky, which is here. One really quite good thing though is that even though I'm in the middle of cloud now, I'm in the middle of very thick cloud, there's no frame rate hit. I'm still getting 30 FPS. There's no frame rate hit here whatsoever because of the weather. It's the first time I've ever flown in cloud this thick and not have any frame rate hit. And the clouds are nice. I think, can't remember the settings now because I fiddled around with it. They were on ultra, they're now on high. But they do look nice. And from what I understand, there is more to come from True Sky as well. I don't think Lockheed Martin, they haven't activated yet quite all of the features of True Sky. So I think it can do more, but I think you would need a kind of supercomputer to run it. So you know, be patient with True Sky. I think it's like work in progress. But from what I've seen of it so far, I'm really impressed. Yes, this is Active Sky. So I'm running Active Sky, and I'm running the True Sky cloud and environmental settings in V5. Yeah. But it's nice though. You actually, I think, for the very, very first time in the sim ever, you actually feel like you're flying over a solid deck of clouds. I've never ever seen this in the sim before. You did not get this before with the 2D clouds in V4. You never ever got this like solid like bed of clouds like you have now, with little holes in so you can see down to the sea. It's really good. This is the most kind of realistic I've seen clouds in the sim like ever, and blows X-Plane away. That X-Plane's big weakness is weather. I really like X-Plane, but the weather, it annoys me. Yeah, 330, yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit fast, isn't it? Got a little bit of tailwind as well, that's pushing us along. So let's, if I change the cost index, that should bring the speed back a bit, right? So let me bring the cost index back to say 250. That's not made a big difference. Let's say 200. There you go. That's a bit better. It's a little bit close to the red line for my liking there. Right, we're coming on the top of the descent. I was hoping to go and get a nice big bottle of Cypriot beer, but I'm clearly not going to have time because we're already at the top of the descent. So let me start thinking about the approach. Right. No idea how to fly this thing, so I'm going to go auto brake 3. It's not a massively long runway in Birmingham. What else? Let me think. We're landing on runway 33. So let me go and get the minimums and all that. So there we go. Right, runway 33. How do we tune the ILS in this? We do it through the Radnav page, right? So 110327, that's set. So I don't think we don't have to tune it manually in the 747, right? God, I'm so rusty with this thing. The only thing we need to put in is the minimums, which are 528. Okay. Why? Oh God, it's got this stupid thing set. So I have it set to change it with the mouse wheel in all the other planes. Let me change that in this because I hate it like this. Aircraft options, simulation. Oh yeah, I will throw this thrust lever position when moving. That's helpful. Blah blah blah. Studio input. Sync, yes. Yes. Yes, yes. Yes. Where's the thing to change the minimums? That's going to annoy me. Maybe it's in aircraft. Is it displays? We're about to go down now. Otherwise I won't bother setting the minimums. There's no cloud anyway, so it's really not that important. Right. Close that. Now, from what I remember, I think we had to be, I think it's 9, well, I think it's 70 by chase, if I remember correctly. 200 by knock-in, oh, 90 by chase, right, okay. So, let's go to 200 first. Cool, alright. Cool. All right. Now, are you? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The star's already in, so yeah, everything's in. So we already have the ILS there, 110.1. So the ILS is already ready to roll. What I don't understand is why it's not. You see, okay, so normally I have this set so that when you move the mouse wheel, it changes the minimums. And it's set to the default thing, which is like, I have actually played with this in a real aircraft, and it's really quite hard. It's a lot easier just to do it with the mouse. So I always just change it back to just change it with the mouse. We've got to do something weird. I don't know. Anyway, never mind. We don't need to worry about minima today. Right, idle, El Navina path, that looks good. Let me just, don't have, let me just get the QNH, oh, it's raining in Birmingham, God. 1016, okay, so it's the same as it was in, it's the same as it was back in Dublin. Okay, so I'll put that on the... Oh no, I can't do that. They're all linked. Don't do that, Ben. Right, okay, that's fine. I thought it had like the NG where you could just twizzle this and it will put it in the kind of sit behind it, but it doesn't work in the 747. So I won't do that. I just need to remember to change it. Okay, so you see we're through the clouds now. The clouds have just vanished. I mean, at least they are behind us, at least, which is good. So we're over Liverpool. There's Liverpool Airport down there. This is True Earth by Orbix, which is kind of nice. If anything's going to make it crash, this will. Yeah, this is from this afternoon. Ooh, hang on, wait. Weather control, custom weather. Okay, if I go to historical weather, and then force historical time to sim time, then it will load me the weather for Birmingham from this afternoon, which is better. Clear 21, right, yes, 1015. There we go. Yes, correct. Right, we're getting high now. Let me go down to 90. Because I'm busy chatting and not concentrating on flying the aeroplane. Okay, so what do we... So, right click or left click on the minimums knob, and also on the barrow. So... Ah, right, okay. Oh, that's horrible. I don't like that. No, I don't like that. That's really fiddly to do. See, look. That's horrible. Why on earth would they put it like that in a simulated aeroplane? So what did we say? 1016. Problem is, it goes really fast. Okay, right. And if I do the same for the minimums, is that right? But I want it to go the other way. It's going to minus 100. Ah, there we are. Right. What did I say the minimums were? Thank you. You fixed it. Good job, guys. Teamwork. 528. Oh my god, that's a lot of click. Yeah, it's definitely It's definitely a bit quicker with the mouse. A bit more intuitive. Because I think it speeds up, doesn't it, when you go like that? Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, no, that's horrible. Dislike this weird way. This reminds me of those weird, you know, those weird X-Plane things where you have to like the IXEG, where you have to like move your mouse all around your desk and do stuff. Horrible. Right, let me put it back in VNav now because we're about to capture the path again. So what did I say it was? 528. Oh God, this is painful. Set this thing. Come on! There, okay. Right, 528. God, we got there in the end. Okay, how do we do for chase? We're 1,000 feet high. Right, let me go into... I'm going to go in flight level change, because we're not... The thing is that we're going 3-3, which is around here. Now, in the 737, what I normally do is because it wants to take us to the NDB as well, which obviously we're not going to do. So I'm going to put the runway in. Now, normally I put 10 miles for flap 1, and then 8 miles for flap 5, and then 5 miles for flap 15. Now, I don't know how it works in this. I guess you have to do everything earlier. So I'm going to do miles to be at like flap 1 and like 200-ish knots. I'll put in 9 miles for the next stage of flap, and then let's have 7 miles for the gear and all that. So that's the plan. So we'll be established by 7, and then we'll be slowing down and configuring between 12 and 9. Again, I don't quite know if that's how they do it in the real one. Why is it not drawn the fixes though? That's weird. Maybe you've got to zoom in a bit more to see the fixes. I don't know. Are the textures PBR? I'm not really sure if they are, to be honest. Yeah, the mic is clipping. I have there's a little kind of crackle on the sound card of my. This is a new PC that I got not long ago, and there is a little crackle on it. I know, I'm aware of it. There's not much I can do, I'm afraid, guys. I've ordered a new sound card, and you just have to bear with me while that shows up, I'm afraid. Sorry about that, fellas. Okay, if it drew the rings, that would have been a lot more useful, but it's not, so thanks for that. Right, I've got the ILS, IBIR, that's good. So what we'll do is we'll get to chase, and then we'll hang right, and we'll go down here, and then we'll turn left, and we'll come back and we'll do the ILS. That's the plan. So before I forget, let me just do all the lights and the seat belts and all that stuff. So that's all done. Auto brakes is set. We've done the minimums. I can't really think of anything else at this point. Okay, Pmdg options, aircraft equipment, page 20. Nice! See? I love you guys. You always help out. So, menu, Pmdg, options. Okay, did you say aircraft? Equipment. And then page 20. Yes. Brilliant. Well done. Thank you. That's taking a big stress. Right, so there's chase. So what we'll do is let's turn ourselves right to, say, 190. Heading select. And then let's descend down to 6. That'll do. I know we're doing a bit over 250 knots, but it's alright. Approved for a high speed by air traffic control, which today is me. And what I will do now is I will put the center fix to the top, and then put the inbound course in, which is 326, and then execute, and that should give us an extended center line, which is done. Great. Okay, airport is over there. There's the airport, which is great. So all we're going to do is just land. Yeah, I'm sorry about the sound clipping, guys. It's a bit annoying. It's also very annoying when you pay £2,000 for a PC and it arrives with a knackered sound card. So, and that's before I started adding all the drives and stuff. So yeah, it's annoying. So sorry about that, fellas. I will get it fixed. Don't worry. I would have had it fixed by now if it were not for the lockdown, but unfortunately I can only get things through the post. It's not like I can't go to a shop and go and, get a new sound card. At least I'm not in Beirut anymore, where I used to live, where it would have taken about 6 months to get that fixed. Okay, so we're looking alright. So flight level change, we're coming down to 7. We can see it's drawn a VNAV path to the center fix. So we're still a little bit high, but that's alright, it's looking good. Is my ground scenery showing auto-gen properly right now? I think so. So, I mean, I think it's always a bit unfair to like zoom in on auto-gen from this altitude, because obviously you couldn't really do that in real life unless you had binoculars or something. But it looks pretty good to me. This is Orbix True Earth. And it looks really good. I mean, Birmingham was quite a hard area for performance in the old times, I seem to remember. But there's no problem at all now. I don't really know Birmingham very well, so I'm afraid I don't really know the landmarks. If we were flying around the northwest, or places I've lived, the northeast, the northwest, South Wales. I did briefly work in Birmingham in a former life as a radio presenter. I was on BRMB in Birmingham a few times, but that was a long time ago. It doesn't even exist anymore, BRMB. It's called something else now. Free radio or something. Right, there's 6. Let's keep coming down. What's the platform altitude? 2,000. That'll do. So I'll use vertical speed. And I'll start slowing this down as well. So, again, I don't really know what the speed... Oh, okay, so clean's 240. That's not a lot, is it? And then we can start thinking about flaps and all that. Got a bit of a tailwind at the moment. In V4, the autogen wouldn't load properly, so it was blurry. Yeah, I agree. The autogen not loading was like the worst bit, right? I know, it's rubbish. That fix ring would have been really useful now. That would have really helped, because I could have just gone out to 12 and slowed down, and then 9 and then 7 thrown out the gear. So that's a bit annoying. I don't know why it's not done that. Let me, if I put a radial in, does that work? No. Maybe it doesn't draw fixed rings in. I don't know. Maybe there's something in the FMC setup you've got to do to make it draw fixed rings. I don't know. It's a really old FMC in this aeroplane. Ancient old 747. Right, so we're not looking too bad. We're still a bit high, but that's alright. We'll just go continue downwind a little bit before we spin around. Speed's coming back. We can start thinking about some flaps and stuff. What are we? We're 12 miles out. What's our offset to? We're 7 miles from there. Right, okay, that's fine. Let me go to the local QNH, which is 1015, because we're cleared down to that. That looks alright. That looks alright. Right, let me get one stage of flap out, and then we can get the speed back a bit. And in fact, what we'll do is we'll go to flap 5. and 200 knots. So we don't want to go screaming in, do we? There we go. I can back off the rate of descent, so that keeps me coming back. But this looks alright, actually. Bearing in mind I haven't flown a 747 in, like, forever. So far, so good, boys. All the lights are on. I'm going to turn the taxi and the runway turn-off lights on now, so that's one less thing to do. And that's it. So all we're going to do now is just come round, line up, and get it on the ground. I might even chicken out and do an auto land. Am I excited for FS 2020? Yeah, I am actually. Of course, nobody's shown me anything of their beta, copies. But what I have seen officially, it looks really good. I mean, I suppose if you think about it, we're below the glide now, so that's good. So we can back off the descent rate a bit. And I can tighten in that turn because we're well below the glide, so that's all good. I suppose it's going to look a bit like this. I mean, let's be honest, right? V5 with True Earth, which I've got for the whole of the UK, and True Sky is probably as close as we're going to get to what is it? Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. This is close. This is the closest we're going to get for now, right? Until we can fly over the whole world with satellite, with ortho scenery. I'm super pumped though to be able to fly to the Middle East, because I've lived in the Middle East a lot. So to be able to fly to like Bahrain, Dubai, Kuwait, all these places, to be able to do that with ortho scenery is just super cool. And also to be able to fly to places, because when I did the 777 program, I worked with a few guys from Emirates. And the 777 goes to some funky places as well, like what it used to. Go to places like Kabul and places like that. And again, like these places are, as I understand, quite well represented in Flight Sim 2020 as well. You know, like it's all ortho scenery and it all looks quite good. So it'd be quite exciting to go to some places like that. Although I know the airports don't look amazing. But we'll see. I am pretty excited for it, yeah. Right, so 11 miles. Now, again, I don't really know what the profile is in the 747 in terms of like flaps and gear and when you do it all. So I'm just going to go conservatively because I don't want to get it all wrong. Then you'll laugh at me and be like, oh, Ben's crap.
2,500.
Okay. All looks pretty good so far. Yeah, I think that's the nice thing in the thing is, of course, it does feel very realistic now, the sim. I mean, especially like now when you're actually flying over, that's a real field. That's a real, well, it might not be a real tree, but it's where a tree is in real life. Now you're actually flying over what it looks like in the real world. That's quite cool. But obviously I can only do that within the UK right now. But it would be quite cool to be able to do that in the sim and go to other places. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking now and shut up because I'm going to concentrate on it. We can talk a bit more about the MS 2020 when we're on the ground, boys. So let me go flap let me go, can I go to flap 20? Yeah, I can. Should have got Nick Collar on the case actually. Nick is the guy that did our Greek island scenery. He flies the 747, the 400 and the 747-8. I might try and grab him and get him on a stream. He's a really nice guy and super interesting. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't set VREF. So let me do that real quick. 154. Right, there we are. 154. Ah, come on. Go in. There we go. 154 plus 5 knots is 159, correct? Right, let's get the remaining flap out. And let me arm the speed brake. And is that it? What's the go-round altitude here? Is it 3,000? Yes. Alright, so go-round altitude's in. We're on the heading. Speed's a bit fast, but it's coming back. Is that armed? What's it doing? Why does this not arm like it does in the NGX? I don't understand. I think that's armed now. Yeah, okay.
1,000.
Right. There we go. Okay, I'm not sure what I've got assigned even on my controllers, but we'll see. Right, this is why I wanted it to show me the engine E-plate. See the little blue thing? That's my throttle position. So as long as I get that right there, that should be good. Right. Do I have an auto thrust, auto throttle disconnect button? Yes, I do. But I don't have. Okay. Oh, yes. I do have one of those. Great. Okay. Cool. Alright, don't expect miracles, boys. Don't expect miracles. I'm not known for my landings.
Approaching minimums.
Especially in this. I'm used to flying the Dash 8. I'm probably going to flare
Minimums.
after it's ripped the gears off. Okay.
100.
Keep it coming down. Got a little
50.
bug splatter on the windscreen.
30. 20. 10.
Okay, down, down, down. There we go. Bucket full of reverse. That wasn't bad. I've done worse landings. It's so big. This thing is so big. It's so big. It's so sad that this aeroplane is like is disappearing from the skies, because it's, I don't know, like even to fly in the sim, it's so cool. It's like big and bulky. It's quite easy to land as well, actually, compared to like the Dash 8, which is like flying a feather. It's quite easy to land this one. Alright, so flight director's off. Speed brakes are up. I'll come back to those in a minute when we get around the corner. Rip flare. Yeah, don't watch my streams for a smooth landing, guys. Don't watch my streams for a smooth landing. Or a smooth anything, really. I'm not very smooth at anything. I'm like an elephant. Right, now let's do the lights. So we don't want those. All those. We don't want strobes anymore. We can turn on the APU. Whoops. Not in the grass. This is the problem with this sim, isn't it? It's like, you know, the guy driving now would be looking out the window. He wouldn't be farting around looking for the APU switch. Right. I'm sure there's other things that we've forgotten, but we've done the main things. We've got the flaps in and we've turned the strobes off. That's the stuff that's embarrassing to taxi with, so we'll leave it at that for now. Liam, we're down. Yep, we certainly are. Now, I've no idea where the cargo section. The cargo section's over on the right, I think, isn't it? So, what I'm going to do, again, I don't have the ground chart handy, and I'm not going to go and look for it. So, I think I'm going to turn right here, and we're just going to go park over there by that DHL. Is it an A300 or something over there? I'll do that. I've been to Birmingham in a long time. Yeah, the A380. I think flying the A380 in the sim is going to be cool. If anyone ever comes up with one of those, I think it's going to be good. The tiller is weird. They've done something with the tiller. It moves really, really slowly, and if you speed into a turn, basically it's going to end badly. Now, can I... Is there enough space for me to be able to turn left down there? I think so. Right, so I should put the strobe back on to go back over there to runway, but YOLO. Alright. Boom, boom, boom. Again, I'm not entirely sure there's enough space to get through there. So, yeah, I don't think that's big enough for a 747, do you? But anyway, we're going to do it. Again, I didn't have time to go through all the charts and look at which taxiway's which. Do you think we're going to get around there? Oh yeah, that's okay. Speed brake's still out. Don't worry about that. Just ignore that, Captain. Right, where are we going to park? We'll go here. We'll go to self-park, which I really doubt you would do in a 747. Unless it was somewhere like Kinshasa or somewhere, but whatever. Okay, actually, I'm going to park here. So this yellow line here, we're going to stick it on this yellow line. That'll do. Yeah, the tiller's really slow. Like super, super slow. Yeah, Monaco Flyby, it's really sad, isn't it? You know, when you think about it, all these UK 2000 sceneries, they all have loads of Monarch and Thomas Cook and Flyby airplanes, and they're all gone. And, you know, God forbid, you know, Virgin might be next. And you're like, there won't be any airlines left. Like, there won't be any. It's really sad. Right, the APU's on. Yes. I think I've got to put the gens on before I kill the engines, otherwise it'll all go very dark. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We did get the flaps up, didn't we? Yeah, we did that. Cool. Right, reset that. Leave that there. Wind that back off. What else didn't we do? Oh, we didn't bring in the speed brake. Now I don't have anything assigned for the speed brake. That's the problem. That's why I was like, I don't know how to get that down. I don't have a lever for it. I think you can assign it to a keyboard command, right? Because it's really hard to do it like this. Come on, go in. Yes. There we go. Right. We can turn off the beacon, and I can turn off the fuel pumps, the window heat, and the hydraulics. And what was the last thing? Seatbelts to off. And that's it. Alright, let's get GSX to come and meme us. It probably won't do it because we're not on a stand. Oh, okay, that's interesting. It looks like there is a stand, but we overshot it. Reposition here, covering it. There you go. Oh, it was okay. I was pretty close actually. I should have just stopped a bit earlier. All right, never mind. All right, so there we are. Welcome to Birmingham, fellas. What are you talking about in the chit chat? Yeah, I enjoyed that. It was fun. It's a nice aeroplane. I mean, we had 2 crashes earlier on. We ran out of memory. I dialed the settings back and it worked. So I think the takeaway from this is that you probably can't run this aeroplane at quite the high settings that you can say the Q400. So I've only really flown the Q400 in this so far. This is the heaviest aircraft, if you like, in terms of graphics that I've loaded up. I guess this one is probably not as heavy in terms of graphics as the 747-8, which is obviously, it has more glass inside and it has the EFB and all that kind of stuff. So I imagine that's even more demanding still. So tomorrow, join me and we'll have a little spin in the 747-8. And as promised, I will try and get hold of a bona fide 747 pilot to come along and have a chat with us as well. So there you are. Thank you for joining me, boys. Dublin to Birmingham, just a quick little hop. Sorry about the slightly firm arrival, but hey, it was alright. You're still here. And see you tomorrow. Have a good night, guys. See ya.